Why not join? I mean, why not join them? You understand? Because you keep telling them the truth, and you keep going for trend. Why not join them? You understand? Work with them. You understand? Because they are corrupt. You understand? At the end of the day, you become the president. You betray them and let them know the true you. You understand? I don't know if I'm making sense. You understand? You understand? You cannot. Throughout the history of Nigeria, everybody that is saying the truth is not winning. Everybody that is saying the truth is not winning. You understand? Why not join them and betray them later at the end? Since nobody wants to hear the truth. You understand? You're a good man. You always say the truth. You didn't win. You understand? Why not join them? You understand? And betray them at the end.
Okay, thank you.
Well, hello. Thank you very much. Your question is both philosophical and hilarious. Your first question, I want to start from you is, if I win, and what if I win and they don't let me? Well, there's no way, my brother, that I'm alive, that I will win election and somebody will cancel the election. This country will never witness another election again. But, yes, you know, it's either we win or we all lose together. We will not cancel an election that I won and then you enjoy an election that you did not win. That one I can promise you with my life. I bet my life on that. The second aspect, which is the question of whether you should join them or not. Let me tell you that the Nigerian leaders or rulers or misleaders you have today, they may not be smart, but they are very prolific in one thing. They can see through you. So if they know that you want to betray them, they have seen you in advance. Yes. Before you betray them, they would have buried you. And those who have joined them can come and testify to it. We have a lot of friends who joined them when I was in the university days. I don't even know where they are now. There are some of them that just joined them recently. There's nothing they can do to change the system. Because inside there is the cemetery of human conscience. The first thing they will go for is your conscience. They will bury you. And they know that the moment your conscience is gone and the public lose interest in you, there's nothing you can say again that will ever work. I have never joined them since I started my political life in the university, specifically in 1989. And I have no regret. But I'm sure if I joined them, I will not be standing in front of you today. Because even if you might listen to me, by the time I leave, you say, nah, them, be that. That is the truth. You can't join them and then decide to betray them. You know, it's a process. You know, have you not seen some videos of people try to join them? They want to put you in a coffin. Take a video of you. Or they ask you to be naked and carry a calabash. When you want to not join them anymore, you will see yourself, you will, as they say in Nigeria, you will see your life outside. But it is not a thing to do as a matter of convenience. If you know something is wrong, you cannot join it and then say you want to do something right later. It doesn't work like that.
Aliko Dangote is a shameless guy. You see, he uses Nigerian money to become African richest man every year. So if you open the treasury of Nigeria and you give to Nedu will also be declared the richest man in Africa. So what the Dangotes of this world do is, he's an Ajib, all governments in power. Any government that comes into power, before they come into power, he will identify who he thinks will win, donate money to them. Then when they come into power, he just goes and starts kissing them. So unfortunately, that did not work with Tinubu, and that's why they're angry with him. So they are going after him because also, you know, the Tinubu guys, they are monopolists themselves, just like Dangote. So they feel that there's nothing Dangote is doing that they cannot do. After all, they can do the oil, they can bring the sugar, they can do it. So Nigerians should not sympathize with Aliko. Let them fight and finish off themselves. You know, Nigerians always love to take side in battles that does not directly benefit. No politician should be paid salary in Nigeria because Nigeria is a poor country. We need to make politics about service. Even the president should drive his personal car. We don't need to be buying official car for government people. At that level, anybody that is president, you are no longer poor. So we should not be paying politics. People should, Nedu, you should be a senator, you should leave here from your office and go to the National Assembly to just once or twice a week, just offer your voluntary service to the nation. Politicians are doing politics as if it's a full-time job. They not only are we even paying them, they now have 10 aides, 20 aides. The principal officers of the National Assembly alone, that is Senate President, Deputy Senate President, Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Chief Whip, all those people, them alone, they employ over 2,000 aides.
Jesus.
Is the truth. You can go and fact-check me.
Jesus.
And verify. If they had told anybody in Kenya that President go feed, they cry, they beg, they no go believe. But President, they cry, they beg. President sack half of in cabinet because citizens said leaders are wasting money. So we also need a similar step from government. They are wasting too much money. You don't need a Peter. Peter is just a decent guy, nice guy. Nigeria needs somebody that is coming. That even the idea of him coming alone, the idea is not even him coming. The idea of him coming alone, they've already run away and they've gone. Because the bad eggs in the system, in the police, they need somebody that will teach them a lesson for the consequences of their behavior. The bad eggs in the army, in the civil service, in every service in the country that is destroying the country, they need to be taught that there's consequences for bad behavior. And right now, there's no such person. If by mistake or by providence, someone like Omoyele Sowore becomes president, before he's even sworn in, the entire country will be empty. All the politicians will run away.
Yes.
Because let me tell you, Abdul Salam Abubakar said it now during the, there's this peace accord, something they used to do. He said, hey, Sowore, if you enter, all of us, we are finished.
To have the right pension. What has happened is unbelievable, Nigerians, that anybody that is an Inspector General of Police, that is from the AIGs to the IGP, they are on a different pension scheme. Anybody that is from Commissioner of Police to the constables, they are on a slavish pension scheme. That is to say, when they are done with their 35 years of service, they get a gratuity of less than 2 million naira. When we were growing up, and this was something I changed with someone upstairs earlier, our parents were in the civil service. We do everything to keep us going to school because they know that when they retire, their gratuity will be the first time they will buy land. Some of them buy cars, and some of them go on vacations with their gratuity. But the gratuity of Nigerian police and several other workers today, when they finish working for 35 years, is not up to 1 week allowance of a senator or a House of Rep member. 1 week after working for 35 years. I mean, what country are we in? And like we said the last time, we are not doing this because elections are coming. We are doing this because people exist in this country that deserve a better life. And we believe that the resources of Nigeria can serve the Nigerian people. But we cannot have resources of Nigeria go round when you have greedy people cornering everything that belongs to everybody, to a few. That is why you see that we are in these struggles, and that's why they drag us from court to court for cyber crime, treason, and all these foolish and frivolous and reckless charges that you have seen. Either if it's not coming from the DSS, it's coming from police or their affiliates. Or the other strategy they use is to go to court and sue us for libel. I have 15 libel cases, 15, at the FCT court alone. Tomorrow, I'm going to be facing another libel case against Fayemi, the man who constructed an airport that did not have any flights land there. And he wants to become the ambassador of Nigeria to the United States. And now that Tinubu is probably not going to give him the ambassadorship, he has put his leg on one of the fake activism project that they just started with El Rufai and the rest of them. And one leg in APC, one leg in new PDP. Maybe they will create a new APC too, again. So these are some of the things that are important to us. But we want to also continue to assure our citizens, brothers, sisters out there, that there's no reason to be afraid of anybody in this country. In fact, what has led to the decadence in our society, the oppression that you have seen over time, is that so many of you are too fearful. Even when you have not been charged with anything, you're afraid. You know, even when you have not been slapped by police, you're afraid. You're afraid in your dreams. You're afraid in your houses. Your father is afraid. Your mother is afraid. Your sister is afraid. And then you transfer the fear to your children. And then you have a society that is fearful of both the seen and unseen signs of oppression.
Every year, the federal government incinerates 15 trillion naira worth of cannabis. And I'm asking, are you stupid? If your budget is 27 trillion and cannabis is bringing 15 trillion, just package it and sell to the people. The half bottle of cannabinoid oil
weed oil
is more expensive than crude oil.
Yeah?
Yes. I'm telling you, you can buy a small one, like this small
butter.
vial for a vial, as they call it, for $55. And it will be finished in one night. And the barrel of crude now is selling for how much? A whole barrel. Maybe they are $79 now. So, and then you have Ogbese in Ondo State. You have places in Delta State. If you are processing this magic weed, you won't need to be going to Abuja every month to go and be queuing up for the allocations that are not coming. But our leaders don't think. They always think about, like Fela used to say, now born, now they sweet them pass. Everything, burn it down first. Canada that just legalized, they are making $4 billion in a city. New York is about to legalize, or is legalized partially. The sale of...
Partially they have.
Yes. The sale of the license alone has already brought in almost $1 billion. Just the sale of the license alone. So a product like that, or a plant that is such a magic, and you have it, you are blessed with it, you start burning it, and they are very happy to burn it. Yeah. But I'm telling you, anytime you see NDLA burning anything, they are not burning any Igbo. They are burning sawdust. The real Igbo has been transported to a safe place. If I were to be president of Nigeria today, the first thing I would do is to head to the Southeast and apologize to them for the war. Nigeria has a problem. And I've always said, Nigeria has an Igbo problem. And I'm not saying it to please people who are known as Igbos. But the moment they decided to take the action they took in 1967 to 1970, the war, Nigeria, having won that war in their eyes, never forgave the Igbos. There is a secret memo, I don't know where it is located, in government, that whenever we want to take charge in this country, be careful of the Igbo. Don't give them position. Don't give them opportunity. Otherwise, they will overrun. It's a well-known fact. Even our parents tell us, Igbo. You understand? Some of them even say unconsciously. They even say it on radio shows in this country. So don't let us lie to ourselves, because except we bring this out openly and discuss, it's a taboo that we have refused to discuss.
True.
We are not going to solve the problem. It is the reason why the federal government of Nigeria feels that in 2024, detaining Nnamdi Kanu against all the court orders, against all the court rulings, is the only way to go. You know, I was detained in the DSS place for 5 months.
Yes.
There is nothing there to detain anybody. The place is not even functioning. The DSS headquarters. Yes, is it the same DSS people who are watching BB Nigeria from morning to night? At the point, Sarah was making up to $50,000 per month of Google ads. I personally wrote over 5,000 corruption stories published on Sarah, personally. When I say personally, I'm the one who investigated, researched. A lot of people didn't know at the point that Sahara was just one laptop when it was most popular. Just one laptop, yes. I bought
That's Sahara where they give many politicians
one laptop that I bought on eBay for $600. After writing for almost 5 years, Sahara everywhere, the politicians started becoming immune to the stories. Yes, the more you did the stories, the more just say, now my opponents, now in the duam, you know. And some of the best stories were coming from them, because if you write a story against a politician, he will say, oh, I know the guy who set it up. They will come go give you the story of the other side.
That person.
Now, story just a flow,
themselves
left,
like-
right, and center.
If you
know.
even set up, then go to say you know what
Yes,
they
so,
do. Another
and
person
they didn't know who I was. Because I set up like a lot of anonymous emails. You
like
could
Gist lover. You were the Gist lover
Yes,
of that
so
time.
that time. But some people knew who I was, but a lot of people didn't know who I. In fact, Femi Falana was surprised the day he found out.
Are you serious?
Oh, he no.
You know, one day he just called me and said, "This is a Harry Potter that everybody shot. They say you are the owner." I said, "I'm the one." I said, "What?" I have people who I went to see, my clients, who are having blood pressure over this your Sahara matter. I said, please keep it up. So he was giving me feedback, you know. So that was the point I got to. I was like, what is it that you can write about these guys again? They don't care. And the more you wrote these stories about them, the more evidence you presented, the more they stole. Ultimately. So because Sahara reporters now became an opportunity for mainstream media to make money. They will not write the original story. Their own is just to debunk. That's how they make their money.
Yes. So you will now serve them. Then they will call, give us money. Come
They will come.
put in
Or
this person,
sometimes
right?
they will pick my stories because they are all on top of the story. They pick the stories, republish it. Sometimes they will not even credit Sahara. They will just see the headline: London house discovered. The people will rush to them. What's the problem now? You know, some of them will publish magazines and with stories that I did do, and then they'll go and buy the entire magazine so that they are not in the market. So when I started hearing all these stories, I was like, I'm providing opportunities for people to become billionaires. I have no problem with it. But it's not advancing the cause for which I committed my life from my university
In the
days,
first place.
which is to bring about a society that works for everybody. And the greatest journalism which I practice has not made that happen. That was what made me to decide around 2016 to come to Nigeria and set up a Sahara Reporters Media Foundation. But they were waiting for me.
It is Tinubu's government. It's Yahoo government too. Do you know who owns Mata? It's Tinubu's mother. That Abiba too, Mogaji, the one that died. They will be the richest people in the world by the time Tinubu has done 4 years. This is not our government. Too. We have accepted that our job will be to liberate this country. How can you help somebody to build refinery and you cannot repair your own? The money that Dangote used in building his refinery came from the same NNPC they claim cannot manage refineries. Since they removed subsidy, which road have they constructed? You would expect that because they removed subsidy, everywhere there should be light, everywhere the roads should be shining, there will be employment. Nothing has changed in Nigeria since they removed subsidy. The only thing that removal of subsidy has brought is hardship and suffering. All the major political parties, as they call themselves, were all going to remove subsidy. So if you voted for Atiku, subsidy would have been removed by now. If you voted for Peter Obi, subsidy would have been removed by now. If you voted for Atiku, they would have floated the Naira by now. Maybe Naira will even be 1,000. If you voted for Obi, they would have floated the Naira for now because they are not interested in Nigerian people. They are interested in the foreigners who come and cash out on a short-term basis.
419 people. Yahoo politicians.
Only 13,000 police officers. 13,000. But go to the first 130,000 are following big men up and down. 130,000 are following big men up and down. In the Senate alone, and that's Senate and House of Reps, alone, there are 3,600 police people attached to these jobless senators and House of Rep people. Why will insecurity not persist in the country? If you see one small boy, just because he does Yahoo, he commands 4 or 5 policemen. The country is doomed for real, and there's no coming back from it. Any nation where the police, the SSS, the army are subcontracted to politicians instead of policing the nation can never work. Forget about all this cosmetic surgery and all these things. And believe me, as we are here, I can assure you that there are more than 200 conferences going on in Abuja right now. Nothing comes out of these conferences. Absolutely nothing. If you go to Merit House, if you go to Transcorp, if you go to Sheraton, if you go to Ibro Hotel, even here, I think there are about 4 or 5 conferences going on here today. These are conferences, you print conference material, they do flyer, they do banner, we are wasting time in this country. Nigeria needs active citizens who will just wake up early in the morning on a faithful Wednesday or Thursday or Friday and occupy the entire nation and demand for reform and demand that these armed robbers, these buccaneers who are in the National Assembly, that they must stop stealing. A situation where you have the national budget, and 80% of the national budget is stolen. Is stolen. Blatantly stolen. And you expect me, you tell me that things can work. A situation where in a country, somebody stands in a church and says, lion carried him on his back. And people actually believe. People believe. So how do you want such a nation to work? And again, can you really blame them? You can't blame them because go and check all nations of the earth where governments have failed. People turn to God and religion. That's why you see people. Are you not surprised that Nigerians are calling on God of Israel, but Israel is calling on Iron Dome for protection? So having said that, it's also important to say that if not for social media, where will we have been able to see the Akpabios of this world that will tell citizens and insult them that while you are protesting, I'll be eaten? You know, if not for social media, how would we have seen Yabelo resisting arrest by EFCC? If not for social media, how will we have been able to see the First Lady fooling around planting something in her backyard? And that is the only way to develop an economy. If not for social media, how will we have been able to know the abracadabra of Dangote and the NNPC and all their wuru-wuru? If not for social media, how will we have been able to see the miracle of Off Your Mic? You remember when the other man was accused of stealing 80-something billion naira, and immediately they started asking questions in the National Assembly. He fainted. You know, if not for social media, how will we have been able to see the exposure of tribal bigots online who tells Igbos not to vote in Lagos in their own country on election day? If not for social media, how will we have been able to see the level of brigandry during elections and electioneering, where, if not for social media, how will we have been able to see those unethical practices? Again, if not for social media, how will we have been able to see the young man from China who exposes corruption and skill, the lecturer from Kano, Dambelu, who is Tulumbu's friend? If not for social media, how will we have been able to see that? If not for social media, how will we have been able to see the APC national chairman, Gandola, stuffing his Babariga with dollars? This is what they want to regulate. Don't allow them to regulate social media. Social media remains the conscience of the citizenry. If not for social media, how will we have been able to know that they have renamed Nigeria Federal Republic of Rice? Every problem, they believe that rice is the solution. If not for social media, finally, I know my time is up.
How can an MD, who the heck is Emefiele, Elumelu? What did he do? Where is the factory? He was a bank man, a floor bank man. Somehow got license. At the same time, we are Adeola. All of them stupendously wealthy now. Wigwe, who became MD of Access Bank, immediately the other young man left, has now established a university. He has the temerity to be advertising that university on CNN. Wigway University. That's personally established by him. Where is the money? Where is his factory? Access Bank. What is the practice? They release dollars to them on monthly basis. They use the dollars. If it's at 1 to 100, they will get it through the mailer to say 1 to 200. You see that profit. What do they do with it? Who are the commercial people that really need it and get it? Most people get back to the mala to buy. No, you hardly will get from the bank unless you are. Is that commercial activity? So what they had done to this nation, they must all be invited for discussion, because the rottenness started from that, and it's been going on for years. But it has exploded now on our faces. And what MFLA did, have you ever seen any central bank of any country giving personal loan to individuals? Are we mad? What was going on in his head? Commercial bank? You turn the central bank to a commercial bank. Central bank that should be responsible for your fiscal and monetary policies. They forgot completely. And then he had the temerity to say, I wanted to contest as president because he has stolen so much money.
Tell your papa, she. Tell your papa, country hard. Tell your papa, she. Tell your papa, people they die. Tell your papa, she. This one don't pass jaga jaga, 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 yama, yama, wuru, ojoro, mago, mago. Where the mago mago dance? Where the wuru wuru dance? Where the mago mago dance? Shei, ebin pa mekunu. Tinubu, ebin pa mekunu. Shei, ebin pa mekunu. Tinubu, ebin. I swear your papa no try. Too much empty promises. Bala blue grammar, Bula blue wahala. On behalf of Nigerians, take our message to him. Kidnappers, they kill Nigerians. Sheyi, try travel by road without your security. Make you feel the pains of fellow Nigerians. You they fly private jet. Insecurity no be your problem. Nigerians when they travel by road, some of them they face death sentence. Any Odio, Odile, Shagamu, Ore, Bini, experience. Make you tell Mr. President, hunger day, you still want make them cooperate. If people they protest, you soldiers suppress them. Removal of subsidy, a bold step they call it. How much your papa don't save since he removed subsidy? Lagos Calabar Coastal Road, 4.9 billion per kilometer, 700 kilometers run into